Everyone, welcome back to a new post today. Today, let's track the most important topics that you need to remember for August 3rd with regard to the UPSC upcoming Civil Services Examination Prelims of 2026. The very first is about now ISRO testing the semi-cryogenic stage of the LVM-3. Now, LVM-3 was previously called as GS-12V Mark III. It is a three-stage rocket system where it had its first experimental flight in 2014. It is the most powerful rocket of ISRO to date, and the semi-cryogenic stage is designed to have it even more formidable, enhancing the payload capability and also to keep the cost down. Now, the LVM-3, also called as GS-LV Mark III, is to carry heavier satellites into the sun synchronous orbit, and the first launch of LVM-3 launch vehicle with semi-cryogenic stage propulsion system is being targeted for 2027. Currently, the capability of lifting 4,200 kg payloads to the geosynchronous transfer orbit with the LVM-3 has this capability, and now the LVM-3 will see an enhanced capability to lift even more heavier rockets with the semi-cryogenic stage. Also, the L110 core stage, which uses liquid propellant, will be replaced by a semi-cryogenic stage which uses a propellant combination of refined kerosene and liquid oxygen. The propellant loading in the cryogenic upper stage, which uses liquid hydrogen and oxygen combination, will increase from 28 tons to 32 tons. So we have fuels being used as a combination of kerosene, oxygen and hydrogen in the semi-cryogenic stage to increase the payload capability and also to bring down cost formidably. Now, there is a demand for the Commission of Denotified Tribes. We know that we have a National Commission for Scheduled Castes, Scheduled Tribes and Backward Classes in the Constitution. Now, there is a demand for a commission for the denotified tribes. These people are communities of India who are labelled as criminal tribes once upon a time under the British rule, and the British enforced the laws called as Criminal Tribal Acts from 1871 to 1947, after which they were deleted, designating certain groups as inherently criminal. After India's independence, these acts were repealed in 1952 and these communities were denotified, and hence the name denotified tribes. Despite this, they still face stigma, discrimination and economic marginalization. The British Raj introduced these acts to control and monitor specific communities, particularly the nomadic and the semi-nomadic groups, based on flawed assumption that their criminality is hereditary. And this were repealed in 1952. Now there is a demand for a National Commission for Denotified Nomadic and Semi-Nomadic Tribes to recommend welfare measures for these communities. There is a scheme implemented by the Government of India called as a Scheme for Economic Empowerment of the Denotified Tribes. It was launched to provide financial assistance for supporting the denotified socio-economic development. And Chhattisgarh and Odisha now are amicably going to resolve the Mahanadi water disputes. The Mahanadi river is a central Indian river that originates in east central India, and it is known for the Hirakud Dam. It also houses the first major multi-purpose river valley project after India's independence, and it flows through Chhattisgarh, Odisha and finally in the Bay of Bengal. The Mahanadi River originates in the Amarkantak Hill Range at the boundary of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, and it has many tributaries also which flow into Chhattisgarh, Odisha, making something called as a radial stream system. Apart from that, we have the Interstate River Water Disputes Act, which governs resolution of interstate river water disputes in India. We have tribunals that are formed with this act for each river water dispute. The tribunal, according to the act, shall consist of a chairman and 2 members nominated by Chief Justice of India amongst the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. And further, services of 2 assessors who are water resource experts have experience in handling sensitive water related issues are provided to the tribunal. As per the provisions of the Interstate River Water Disputes Act, the tribunal is required to submit its report and decision within a period of 3 years and not exceeding 2 years to unavoidable reasons. The Mahanadi Water Disputes Tribunal was formed as early as in 2018. And this will pave an example for many other states to resolve their water disputes as well. Now, many countries are in the queue, are in line to recognize Palestine as a state. And let me tell you, there is something related to this called as the Balfour Declaration. The declaration was made during the World War I amidst the decline of the Ottoman Empire and Britain's growing interest in Middle East. The declaration was a letter from Arthur Balfour, the British Foreign Secretary, to Lord Rothschild, a leader of the British Jewish community. The declaration expressed British government support for the establishment of Palestine, of a new home for Jewish people, and also stated that nothing should be done to prejudice the rights of the non-existing Jewish communities in Palestine. And therefore, now many states are agreeing to recognize Palestine as a new state, and only few countries of the United Nations have done so, not all the countries. There is also the Balfour Declaration that was made during the World War I by British to declare Palestine as a Jewish state. And Bangladeshi interim government is now going to bring up the July Declaration. It is coinciding with the first anniversary of ousting the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The Yunus-led interim government wants to give constitutional recognition to the student-led uprising that took place last July and August, which led to the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. This recognition is known as the July Declaration. And the Students Against Discrimination is an organization that violently led the campaign, eventually toppling the Awami League regime, and Sheikh Hasina fled the country. And therefore the idea of July Declaration arose to recognize the actions of the Students Against Discrimination. And now India has its very first green hydrogen plant in port sector at Kandla in Gujarat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the landmark step towards sustainability in the commissioning of India's first Make in India green hydrogen plant in the port sector of Kandla. In this, it is championing sustainability and also empowering net zero vision of India. Kandla will become the first Indian port to house a megawatt scale indigenous green hydrogen facility, underlying Gujarat's growing role in renewable energy and sustainable infrastructure. It was inaugurated recently, and it is the first module will produce larger than 10 megawatt green hydrogen. Now, green hydrogen is hydrogen produced using renewable sources like solar, wind, geothermal energy, etc., specifically through electrolysis of water using electricity generated from renewable sources, as I said, solar or wind. Its clean energy alternative helps to decarbonize industries and serves as a means to energy storage, crucial for sustainable low carbon future. Applications of green hydrogen include fuel cell vehicles used in vehicles as a potential alternative to traditional combustion engines. Green hydrogen can also be used in industrial processes like steel making, ammonia production, and also can be used to generate power as well. Therefore, the green hydrogen is the most sought after fuel to achieve India's net zero emissions. We already have a national green hydrogen mission that was launched by the Narendra Modi government very recently, and it aims to make India a global hub for production and also for export of green hydrogen and its derivatives. So these are the most important topics I thought I should be tracking for you all for August 3rd. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you in my next post. Until then, it's very happy learning.